Arcade Heroes.
Hello, fans of light gun games and aliens, this one's for you. In this case, aliens means those unforgiving demon spawn that plant their babies in your chest.
Oh no, not again.
Can have 2 helpings of steak in 1 bite and have acid running through their veins. They also have a fondness for appearing in video games, which they have done more often than appearing in official silver screen outings. And that's just counting officially licensed stuff, not inspired by aliens games like Contra, Xenophobe, or Space Gun. The latest game to take upon it the Aliens mantle is the arcade-exclusive Aliens Armageddon by Mechanix and Raw Thrills. This is a sequel of sorts to Mechanix's Aliens Extermination that they released through Global VR back in 2007, and a sequel in spirit only to their Terminator Salvation light gun game released in 2010. How spiritual? Well, take a look at the Deluxe cabinet designs. There are some aesthetic changes in the plastic molds, now featuring more translucency and LED-infused T-molding, and it has a bigger batter screen, which is 55 inches in size. It's the go big or go home sort of thing at play, I suppose. There's also a 42-inch fixed gun version. Here's a picture. As usual, the storyline isn't hugely important, as those are just excuses to give you a setting for shooting aliens in the face. Play the game to shoot them. The reason behind it is usually that they're trying to kill you. Simple enough. Although this does have something to do with gathering people together to the safety of something called the Ark. That would be another spiritual bond between this and Terminator, where you are saving humans from certain deaths the robots want to deal out. There are enough similarities with Terminator that it will probably be more useful to point out some of the differences. The pace feels a little faster in part, but that's because aliens will run at you constantly instead of trying to shoot at you from a distance. Power-up grabs are automatic now and more scripted. Instead of the power-up ending when you run out of ammo, you get to reload those too, using them until a certain sequence is up. You do get to enjoy the smart gun, shotgun, flamethrower, grenades, and also sniper rifle. There's even a handy grenade launcher that you find towards the end of the game. The guns also appear in the lower corners of the screen, which is closer to first-person shooter games, also similar to Namco's Raising Storm arcade game. The variety of enemies is greater. Mechanix pulled some inspiration from the Dark Knight comic series of aliens while adding some of their own touches to the designs. They seem spot on to me. I know some online have complained about the giant aliens, but they didn't do anything that seems way out of line. Arcade games are supposed to have a little exaggeration and over-the-topness to make them stand out, if you know what I mean. If you hate the facehuggers due to any underlying arachnophobia, then their design is still spot on with that. There are no player ratings after each round like in Terminator, which used to have a 5-star rating to judge your performance. And it seems like you don't need to reload as often, but the mechanic of hitting the clip to reload is still there. Boss battles are also similar to Terminator, using the multi-target slowdown mechanic found in many light gun games these days. With Terminator, I remember being surprised by how long the levels were when I first played that, and I was surprised again by Armageddon. There are 4 chapters total to play through in Armageddon, which you can select by choosing either story mode to go through the whole thing, or you can jump ahead using chapter mode. Graphically, this game runs in 1080p at 60 frames per second, and the engine uses plenty of lighting, shading, and particle effects that you would expect to see in a modern top-of-the-line video game. There are some nice animation touches here and there, such as a marine kicking an alien head to make sure it's dead, or a boss swallowing a guy whole, or watching aliens fly through the air when they were standing too close to an explosion. There's no blood gushing everywhere, however, so if that's something you're looking for or worried about, well, no blood, except for the aliens. They made an interesting design choice of blending the photorealism look with some cell shading, which is described to me as a way for current threats to be more easily recognizable. But it's actually a subtle effect that works and helps the game have a distinctive look to it. I don't know that there's much to say about the audio. There is a little more voice acting to be found than in previous games like Terminator or Aliens Extermination. They also added subtitles, which are welcome since most of the time these games are found in noisy environments. Otherwise, nothing stands out to me in this department. The music's kind of bland, more just a thumping background noise. It does have online features, but nothing apart from updates and online leaderboards at the moment. It does allow you to put in a name instead of initials, where Terminator was just initials. If you were satisfied with either Aliens Extermination or Terminator Salvation, then you really can't go wrong with this. If you have yet to play either of those, then this offers up a well-paced on-rails alien blasting experience that isn't over in 5 minutes. That is something to appreciate. A lot of light gun games are over in about 20 to 30 minutes, or in the cases of games like Crisis Zone, I could beat that in 12. But this is closer to 45 if you want to complete the whole thing in one sitting. Otherwise, I'm straining to find anything that really stands out as some new innovation. They've just fine-tuned the formula used in the successful Terminator and applied it to the Aliens license. If you find one out there, happy bug hunting.